So I've reached the statue of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was here in Yalta as he, Stalin, and Churchill planned the post-World War II world when fascism was supposed to be finished off. Well, it obviously didn't happen, and most Americans don't know that President Roosevelt has a street named after him right here in Yalta. Roosevelt is the only U.S. president who has a street named after him in Russia. So I think that's significant, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here. I didn't even know that this statue is here, and I was very fortunate because I knew generally where it was. I passed it last night with my friend Regis and his wife Titania on a way to a little meditation meeting and discussion that we had last night. I'll be posting that. But anyway, they told me about this, and I just had to come down here. And this is Roosevelt Street. So the short story is that Roosevelt and Stalin got along quite well, and they didn't really like Churchill because Churchill wanted to maintain the British Empire. But unfortunately for the United States, the forces of imperialism and all the results that we see now had their seeds in the takeover of the U.S. government by Truman when the Democratic Party ousted Henry Wallace as the presumed vice presidential candidate and future president. But the Democratic Party didn't want that. The British didn't want that. So they got rid of Henry Wallace, and Roosevelt himself died under suspicious circumstances, which have never been really discussed, but there's quite clear evidence that he was probably poisoned. In any case, here we are, and we are literally, 81 years, I think it's 81 years later, here in Yalta, and even Yalta itself is disputed because the people who run the United States simply won't leave Russia in peace, and that is the big problem. They keep blaming other countries. If it's not Russia, it's Iran, it's Cuba, it's Venezuela, it's China. Every country is bad except for the wonderful United States, which just happens to have destroyed many countries, and by some estimates has been responsible for the death of 30 million people since the 9/11 at least. So that's where we are, and this is a statue of Roosevelt. And so I just thought I would bring this short video to your attention, and hopefully you will understand the significance of Yalta for the United States, for the people of the world, and the significance of Roosevelt and the terrible, tragic loss that the world suffered when Roosevelt died too young and his vice president, his socialist-oriented vice president, Henry Wallace, was removed from power.